Hello, I'm Candace Nance. I'm our community manager for Aegis Force, the Scorian War. Welcome back to another developer diary. Our brand new demo is coming out on September 2nd, so only a few days away. And we wanted to give you a quick sneak peek at some of the new things that you'll see. So if you haven't already, go try it out. Don't forget to add us to your wish list on Steam. Today, we want us to take a little step back and show you something different, how we're actually building the world of Ianua. So I'm going to turn it over to Christian.
Thanks, Candace. This is Christian Smith, executive producer here at Deseret Games. Now, Aegis Forth isn't just about tactical gameplay, it's also about a living, breathing world. That means myths and politics, cities and landmarks, but also the branching systems that hold the story together. So in this video, we're going to zoom out to the continent of Ianua, and then zoom in to some of its most important places and things. And to take you through this, I'm going to pass it over to narrative director, Nick.
Thank you very much, Candace and Christian. As Christian said, I'm the narrative director. I'm very excited to be able to talk you through just a little taste of some of the lore that we have around Ianua. So let's start there with Ianua, the great continent. Ianua is a land divided. In the west is Genoa. It's a monarchy built on institutionalized magic, where knights, mage guilds, and enchanted bloodlines define the culture. To the east lies Turamain, a fractured technocracy driven by steam and steel. Their machines and inventions and war engines are locked in an endless conflict with Genoa's powerful magic. Splitting them apart, right down the middle, is the Scar, a strip of no man's land, the site of Scorian War's first clashes. And surrounding everything else is the Har, a wall of fog that no one can seem to cross. Ships that sail into the Har vanish, or reappear back at Ianua, sometimes exactly where they went in, other times somewhere entirely new at a different part of the continent. Now, to keep track of this complex world, we use tools like Milanote, and that's what you're seeing here, to map geography, branching choices, character arcs, ensuring every thread stays consistent no matter where our player goes. Now, at the heart of Genoa is Vigherad, the capital. Let's go into it. This city is divided into 3 sectors. You can kind of see them laid out in 3 different places in one of our great pieces of pixel art by one of our internal artists, who we're very grateful for. Now, the 3 sectors are: the monarchy has stately homes, magic-powered lights; the military assembly, right, with factories, barracks, soldiers preparing for war, since this war has been going on for 100 years. And then you have the Pact. That's where mages and guild halls thrive in secrecy. A lot of the research that's done inside of Vigherad and in the Kingdom of Genoa in total is all about magic. So the Pact has a really powerful presence, but they must keep a lot of the work that they do secret. Each area feels distinct. Let's dive into the city just a little bit. But we want to lay it all out in a way that's clear to navigate so exploration never gets overwhelming. We planned that these spaces first out in Milanote, right? You can see some of these screenshots that we have of our market as people are able to navigate through it. Some of the stalls that we've built with the assets that we have, even a few assets from one of our favorite places, a tavern that is called the Moonlit Mare, with its own special signage and its own decorations on the inside. And this city is, it's lived in by so many different kinds of townsfolk. You can see that we have humans, elves, we have frog people and kitsunites, we even have centaurs, and you never go wrong with a few house pets in a large capital city. So we're trying to create a lot of variety across the entire city. We really want to balance clarity and variety and then bring to life the whole city in all the details that we're seeing there. So that's part of the city. Let's talk a little bit about one of our things. You'll notice here that we talk about the Triune, this large tower at the edge of Vigherad. So let's go inside just a little bit. At the center of Vigherad is the Triune, this massive tower built almost entirely by magic. It rises above the city like a nail piercing the sky. And inside we have the halls of the Mage Guild, the council chambers, and a great war room where Vigherad directs its fight against Turamain. I wanted to show you one thing here of how, just as an example, we went from a concept all the way through to a more completed space. When we were first talking about the War Chamber, for example, we went out and started looking for inspirations, things that we were thinking of in our minds about how this space could be organized. This is one of the ones that I pulled from one place. You can see it's even like a wedding design that was just a half moon table that was fitting into our minds. So we took some of these ideas. We even made a little diagram of how the space might be laid out with some of the characters that we wanted to have showing there, and some of the other spots that would be in the space. Very simple, but enough to be able to get the idea through. And then as we took that through, we gray boxed it, started putting in. You can see right now it's just filled with soldiers, even in our throne space. But we wanted to get a feel for the 3D space so that we know what exactly we were really looking at. Once we gray boxed it, we brought in the characters, right? Officers, mages, one of our characters, Crimsfell, another one, Enridge, for those who played our first demo will recognize Enridge's name, and then King Thalen, so that everyone on the dev team could get a feel for where everyone would be sitting in this space. Once we felt good with it, we built out the more finished, textured version of this space so that we'd be able to show it and use it as you guys get to explore the inside of the Triune and the city of Vigherad. So that's part of our process as we work through each of these different pieces and try and decide how everything should fit together. A lot of iterations happen between each of these stages, but that's a general idea on how one of these ideas starts from the story, from the necessity that we have, and moves all the way through to completion. You'll notice a couple other fun details. As we talk about the Grand Hall, we grabbed other concepts, thought about the kinds of sculptures or things that we might want to put in there, worked up a few things of our own and some of our own props, but we always want to make these spaces feel as lived in as possible. The Triune really should be about feeling both awe-inspiring and functional. It is the seat of power for a nation that's at war. So, with the Triune being our thing, let's talk about a person, one of the people who exists inside the Triune and is key to the story of Aegis Force, the Scorian War. Let's talk about King Thalen VI. So you can see here, this is some of our art that we've used, concepts, pixels, portraits, just to be able to show who King Thalen is. The Thalen dynasty has actually ruled over Genoa for centuries, long before the Scorian War even began. And the monarchy is actually almost deified by the people. It's almost like a godlike presence, a fatherly presence that they always depend on to protect them, especially in a war that's lasted 100 years. Thalen VI is actually one of the youngest kings that the kingdom has ever had, but he's also one of the most powerful magic users. And his magic, as many do in Genoa, exhibits in its own way. He can use it to augment his physical capabilities significantly. Now, Thalen's not just a king, and he hasn't just had the silver spoon in his mouth his entire life. The war has taken much from him. His mother, his brother, his wife. You can learn more about those as you go through the game specifically, but the point is that his drive to end Turomaine's aggression isn't just political. It's not even just historical. It's deeply personal. In his character design, we wanted to capture both sides, right? The idealized, deified ruler, and a man who's in pain underneath and is trying to bring this war to its conclusion. So he plays a really important role. I always love when we get to have one of our animated sprites in here, just because our artists work so hard to bring these worlds to life for us, and our style is something that catches people's eyes. So look forward to when you get to see King Thalen up and moving in the game, but here is a little preview just for some of his walk cycle and things like that. Now, not every piece of lore in Aegis Force is front and center. Some details are hidden. If we go back out and we look at Vigherad, some of the eagle-eyed watchers here may have noticed this little poster. I'll pull up right here. Some of the details in Aegis Force, we're trying to hide around inside of the world so that people can experience them in the way that they want to, right? You can walk up and you can actually examine these posters that you'll see all throughout the city of Vigherad. This is one of those little hidden details, an enlistment poster on the wall that actually uses Callan's face. He's a golden boy of Genoa right now. But we also have letters tucked away into desks, old books and tomes, artifacts that are buried in old ruins. These don't change the main storyline. They make Ianua feel real, with scars and secrets waiting for all of our curious players to be able to uncover. It's the kind of hidden lore that we've always loved personally as a team in our RPGs. We love to make the world feel more real and more lived in. And it's moments like that that reward exploration and make our world feel alive. So we're looking forward to you digging through, finding those moments, those pieces that excite you and show that this is a world that has a lot of history and has a lot of things that have been happening inside of it right now that shape what you're experiencing. I'm going to go ahead and hand it back really quick to Christian.
Thanks, Nick, for going through all that, and thank you everyone for listening. We hope you guys are excited to try out our game when it comes out, as well as to try out a new demo, which we'll be releasing on September 2nd, which will give you a chance to explore different parts of the world of Ianua. For the master maps of Ianua down to the streets of Vigherad, Halls of the Triune, and characters Aegis Force explore. We appreciate again everyone for listening to our, and we hope to hear any feedback you have. Don't forget to follow us on Discord, check us out on Steam, and even opening up early next year. Thanks again. Have a good one.